This morning at 11:18, our crews were called by a fire alarm activation to New World behind us. On arrival, there was a large fire, well developed in the mezzanine floor and upper level of the roof, which has made it very difficult for firefighting. Right now, it's not under control because it's too dangerous to be inside the building. But I can assure you that the exterior of the building has multiple deliveries on it. Right now we have 20 appliances in attendance with more coming. We have another aerial. So right now we've got 3 aerials working in Auckland here at this incident, and we've got 1 more aerial arriving from Hamilton shortly. Crews are expected to be here this afternoon and overnight. Really want to encourage people to stay away from this area. We've got roadblocks across Victoria Street, Franklin Road, Beaumont Street, College Hill. So if you can avoid that area. For those that live within that space or up towards Ponsonby Road, we'd encourage you to keep your windows shut. And if there's any issues with breathing or any difficulty from the smoke, then please advise 111. There's been no accidents or incidents reported. All of the staff and shoppers were evacuated at the time of the call.
Is there any indication of what started the fire at this stage?
Look, I think it's too soon to say that, but what I can say, it was up in the mezzanine and roof space. But yeah, we've got fire investigators here, but until we get it out.
Was it a specific area in the roof space, like a storage room or something like that, as far as you're aware?
Don't know. Sorry, I don't know that.
Do we have any concerns of asbestos currently? Has that been noted?
Hasn't been noted, but we certainly treat it as asbestos until proven otherwise.
I know there are renovations currently ongoing at the supermarket here. Is that potentially a factor here?
Unknown at this stage. Sorry.
Do you know how many people were in the supermarket when it was evacuated?
No, I don't. I don't know the number. But all I know is that they were all evacuated, and we've worked with the building owners and manager, and they've assured us that everyone was out.
And do we know what's being done about those cars that are currently underground? What's happening there?
So we are currently working with the owners of each vehicle. That's all I can tell you at this stage.
Do you think they'll be out overnight, or not sure?
Unsure.
Can you give us any indication of, I guess, how large the fire actually is inside the roof? Obviously we can't see it from out here, and you're having to blast through the walls.
So I can tell you that it's actually like it's inside the building through aisles and things as well. So that's our challenge there. So once we can get in and contain it, we'll get it out.
I know there have been a few sort of crashing sounds as well. Are those things falling?
Yes. Yeah. So that's why it's become unsafe for us to be inside.
Can you describe the extent of the damage from what you know?
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
Can this building be salvaged, do you think?
I'm hoping so, but no, I don't know the answer to that.
How complex is this fire compared to normal, I suppose?
I think the complexity sits on the size of the building and the fact that it's sitting above in the mezzanine and the roof area. That's the complexity of it. So getting access into it, we've got concrete areas that we can't have our trucks on as well. So we've been working with the building engineers to just where we can park and not park, because there's obviously an underground car park.
Have any neighbouring buildings or cars been affected?
No, nothing.
Any danger for these residents right next to the supermarket?
At this stage, no, but we've been working with Auckland Emergency Management in case we're looking at contingency options should we need to overnight.
And there was issued obviously an emergency alert about this. That doesn't happen for regular fires, and so people are being told in the area that they're fine, and there's no threats to them, but that feels a bit threatening, doesn't it?
It's just simply a warning to let them know that we have got a fire in the area, and there is smoke, so the advice is just to close your doors and windows.
Seeing that the fire started in the mezzanine upper floor, and it's hard to get into that area, and it's so dangerous inside the building at the moment, and you said that there's fire in the different aisles.
Yep.
Do you think there are dangers that it's going to be really hard to contain, that it will spread further to all parts of the building as this afternoon and evening drags on?
I'm hoping not. We have it completely surrounded. but it's just until we can contain it to certain areas before we can get inside.
How long do you think it will take to contain it? It's hard to say.
Hard to say at this stage. Just until we can contain it a bit better.
And you said there were 20 trucks and more
Yes.
coming. How many more are coming and where from?
Okay, so the furthest one is coming from Hamilton, and that's just another aerial appliance. So we're currently at a 4th alarm, so that's what the 20 trucks are. I've just increased it to a 5th alarm, and that's just to help staff rotation. You know, they've been here a few hours now, so it's just about rotating our staff out.
So one aerial's coming from Hamilton. When is it due to arrive?
Probably within the next 30 minutes.
How many staff are on the scene at the moment? So 25 to 80?
So each appliance generally has four people on it, so 80 staff.
Are these good conditions for fighting fire? Is this kind of ideal for fighting a fire like this?
I don't think there's any good conditions, but yes, today is a good day. It's, they're not wet or anything like that, so yeah.
Is there a message you'd like to send to people whose vehicles are in the underground car park who have abandoned them?
Look, just reach out to police. Police are managing that for us.
Do you think there's a possibility that this area residents might need to get evacuated tonight if this gets worse?
I would think not.